in that game, I know you guys last year when you played Utah State, put in a lot of short fields and stuff and tough spots, but I think you guys still gave up, 50. They still hung 50 on you guys. How much, I guess, of a motivating factor for the defense is what happened last year?
I mean, yeah, every week you got to find a way to motivate yourselves. You got to find a way to motivate, your team. Some weeks easier than others. Obviously, this week, Utah State got after us pretty good last year. So, obviously the guys in studying the film, we got to correct some things and obviously do a much better job this year.
Before the season, we talked a lot about David Mowat is impressing people in the spring and the summer, and he's carried it right into this season. To you, what's the thing that separates him and enables him to be able to do that?
Well, I think one, he's developed a ton since last year throughout the offseason with Coach Pittman and in terms of his physical ability and obviously fundamentally as a football player. Coach Caldwell and Latu, our GA, have done a heck of a job with him and it's showing on the field right now. And, just like anybody else, there's things that he is obviously working on still to get better at, but he's off to a good start, and whether he's getting sacks or not getting sacks or whatever, I mean, for us as a defense, he's very productive in what he does in his role. So, we just got to keep pushing forward with him.
Well, to get that pressure up the middle, maybe last year, you had some big bodies in there, a lot of guys for, the traditional run stopper types, but to have that aspect, a guy who can get into the backfield, and I know that's even Elliott's strength too. How does that make a difference for your defense this year as maybe opposed to last year?
Yeah, no question. I mean, the defense always starts with the middle of your defense. That's the anchor, how those guys play. And everybody's a little different in how you get it done, and just trying to, do his best for our guys and help them out and put them in the best situations, for who they are. But yeah, no doubt, the defense always starts with the interior of the D-line and how those guys go typically is how you go, especially in the run game.
When it comes to David, I mean, we talk about his size, and it seems like he's finding a way to use that to his benefit. But what is it? It seems like when we talk to him after the game, it seems like he's also starting to get some confidence and some understanding that he can obviously do this play at this level and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
What is that confidence doing for him?
I mean, confidence is everything in this game. Confidence is everything, and it's hard work getting that confidence. One, we always talk about the separations in the preparation, not just mentally, game plan wise and what you need to execute, but obviously physically. And I think he's got a little bit of both of those things, probably a lot of both of those things going on right now to give him that confidence. And then he's able to go out on the field and cut it loose and play fast and execute and do the things that he's, being asked of him in terms of his responsibilities.
And how is it more difficult for a guy on the inside to get 4 sacks versus, a guy on the outside?
Yeah, no question. I mean, the production he's getting inside right now has helped us tremendously, and his quickness inside, I think, helps him. And he may not be typical nose weight, but he's extremely strong. He's a strong physical player.
Obviously,
Cam Hartsfield this year. I mean, he made that. I thought maybe one of the turning points of the game was that -6 or 7 on Bolden out in the flat.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he's made some big plays, whether it's tackling somebody for a loss or knocking a pass away. What's he meant to the defense?
Yeah, no question. He stepped up huge, and Coach Franklin and him have been working very closely together, obviously all through the spring and the summer and, fall camp. And once again, confidence is everything. And once you get a little bit of that rolling and you feel good about what you're doing on the field, you can play faster. You understand what your keys are. You know exactly what you're looking at, what those keys are telling you. That leads to fast and physical play. And so, obviously with all these guys we're talking about that are having success right now, there's still things we need to keep improving on and plenty of areas we keep getting better at. But it's exciting to see some of these guys emerge in new roles and have some confidence doing it.
I know you're going to get DSG back next week, but how much did losing Evan Tyler hurt? Because it seemed like he had been playing pretty well.
Yeah, no question. Evan was really coming along, and it's just unfortunate. It really is, and he was doing a nice job for us and getting some playing time there and stuff. So, some other guys are going to have to step up now.
Do you feel okay with, at least for this week, with the depth you have there at safety?
Yeah, I mean it's constant. It's every week. one of our old coaches here says every week, you know, you got 2 guys ready to roll, and you better have a third on deck, because at any minute you need a third guy. And so we always remind ourselves of that in terms of trying to develop depth, and we've been talking about that. And you guys asked, what does that mean? Well, in these situations, guys got to step up and be ready to play, you know. And each week we talk to these guys, whether you're first, second, third, barely getting reps with the travel team, you got to prepare like you're starting. You got to treat it like you're starting, because you never know when your time's going to come.
It sounds like Hars kind of mentioned Jordan Happel's name, so
Mhm.
as he might be the guy on deck, it sounds like. So I guess how has he continued to progress, and then how has DSG been doing over the last few weeks?
Jordan's another one of our young guys that obviously we're really excited about. Otherwise, you know, we wouldn't be talking about him in the situation we're in, and you know, the opportunity he's going to have. Just going back to even recruiting Jordan, you know, he's a guy that has great body control, good tackler in the open field. You know, for a young guy, solid football IQ, mature enough to handle the situation. You know, and then I think, you know, just obviously with DSG, and he got Scout Team Player of the Week last week, so he's been doing pretty good down there.
How much